Hello everyone, Praise Scooter here, and welcome back to more Ocarina of Time. Last time, we saw a man chase off the young princess and her right-hand man? We'll go with right-hand man. I don't know exactly what I should say. We saw them get chased off, and we were told, hey, you should go to the altar of time, which we've never been to the altar of time. And I'm going to fluff about this, because there's things you can do here if I talk to these masks. Gudos sometimes come to Hyrule Castle to look for boyfriends. I see. Say it's against the rules to use glasses at the treasure chest shop in Hyrule Castle Town Market. You don't say. Say the Mail hopes a knight in shining armor will come and sweep her off her feet someday. I see. And the last one. Oh! So she's very good at it. So yeah, basically, anytime you see a stone of truth now and you wear the mask, it'll give you kind of a general hint upon the land of Hyrule. Just a general, like, blanket state, common, like some blanket knowledge you can use across Hyrule. But we could have come to the Temple of Time much earlier, but this is the first time you are forced to go here. And there's a hint thing in here. Okay. Anyway, come to the altar of time. Ye who owns 3 spiritual stones, stand with the Ocarina of Time and play the Song of Time. Well, I mean, fulfill the prophecy, right? And I've already forgot what the song is. Help! My fingers are dumb. I'm ruining a moment. I'm still ruining the moment. Send help. There we go. It took so freaking long to just do that. This does not bode well for the future. MacGuffins. Hey, wait, those aren't supposed to fly. Are those supposed to fly? Can I get verification on this? Somebody in the back, can I get verification? Are rubies and sapphires and emeralds supposed to fly? Oh. Well then. I guess we should go and look. Link, isn't that... Isn't it what? I haven't had a chance to look. It's a sword. It's that legendary blade. The Master Sword. Now, if anybody who has been keeping track at home of my track record, I will say that I played Twilight Princess, the Scooter Cannon, by the way. I played Twilight Princess on the channel before I played this game. So so if you know Twilight Princess, you kind of know what's happening here. Am I allowed to just take it? Heck yeah, better sword. Uh-oh. Someone made an oopsie. I'm gonna blame you.
Excellent work. As I thought, you held the keys to the door of time. You have led me to the gates of the sacred realm. Yes, I owe it all to you, kid.
I think he followed us.
Link, wake up. Link the Chosen One.
5 more minutes. Okay, 10 more minutes. 35 more minutes. Can I just call you back next week? Oh, I don't like this dream. I think I should wake up. You ever have that happen? You ever have a dream that you want to wake up from because you know it's a dream?
I am Raru, one of the ancient sages. Ages ago, we ancient sages built the Temple of Time to protect the entrance to the Sacred Realm. This is the Chamber of Sages, inside the Temple of Light. The Temple of Light, situated in the very center of the Sacred Realm, is the last stronghold against Ganondorf's evil forces. The Master Sword, the evil-destroying sword that you pulled out of the Pedestal of Time, was the final key to the Sacred Realm. Oh... Whoops. Link, don't be alarmed. Look at yourself.
Oh. That's the big boy. Look, Link, you're so big now. You've grown up.
The Master Sword is a sacred blade that evil ones may never touch. Only the one worthy of the title of Hero of Time can pull it from the Pedestal of Time.
Or anybody else with the name Link.
However, you were too young to be the Hero of Time. Therefore, your spirit was sealed here for 7 years.
7 years?
What have I missed? And now that you are old enough, the time has come for you to awaken as the Hero of Time. Well, do you understand your destiny?
Bruh. I'm still mentally like 10.
But remember, though you opened the door of time in the name of peace, Ganondorf, the Gerudo King of Thieves, used it to enter this forbidden sacred realm. He obtained the Triforce from the Temple of Light, and with its power he became King of Evil. His evil power radiates from the temples of Hyrule, and in even 7 short years, it transformed Hyrule into a world of monsters. My power now only has little influence, even here in the Sacred Realm. Namely, this Chamber of Sages.
Okay.
But there is still hope. The power of the sages remains. When the power of all the sages is awakened, the sages' seals will contain all evil power in the void of the realm. I, Raru, am one of the sages, and your power to fight together with the sages makes you the Hero of Time. The Hero of Time, chosen by the Master Sword. Keep my spirits with you. Find the power of the other sages, and add their might to your own.
So here's where I tell you guys the very well-known factoid that at one, because surprise, there's Dungeons and Legends of Zelda game. There was going to be a dungeon for this part of the game to get the light medallion, but it had to get scrapped either due to time constraints or some other adding factor.
Find the other sages and save Hyrule.
Okay, but where do I start? Can I get a divining rod even? Do I just have to bumble into it? It's darker. I don't like that it's darker. I think we're back in the Temple of Time, but have 7 years really passed? Looks like you won't be able to use some of your weapons you found as a kid anymore. Let's get out of here. I mean, that's a blessing and a curse. And who, pray tell, might you be? I've been waiting for you, Hero of Time. When evil rules all, an awakening voice from the Sacred Realm will call those destined to be sages who dwell in the 5 temples. One in a deep forest, one on a high mountain, one under a vast lake, one within the house of the dead, and one inside a goddess of the sand. Together with the Hero of Time, the awakened ones will bind the evil and return the light of peace to the world. This is the legend of the temples passed down by my people, the Sheikah.
I am Sheik, survivor of the Sheikah. As I see you standing there holding the mythical Master Sword, you really do look like the legendary hero of time. Has anybody seen this hero of time before? If you believe the legend, you have no choice. You must look for the 5 temples and awaken the 5 sages. One sage is waiting for the time of awakening in the Force Temple. The sage is a girl I'm sure you know of. Because of the evil power in the temple, she cannot hear the awakening call from the sacred realm. Unfortunately, equipped as you are currently, you cannot even enter the temple. Can I get help? But if you believe you know what I'm saying, you should head to Kakariko. You do understand, don't you? I guess? So, there's something I'm going to try and do here right away. But yeah, so as I said, we're missing some items. We have access to some of our items, namely our bottles, our bombs, our Deku Nuts, which, don't mind me. Definitely just equip myself for what I need for now. And yeah, nothing else for right now. But we do have access to the magic spells if you acquire them up to this point. You do have access to them. But this is why I harp so hard on getting the mask quest done, because as soon as you get done with the masks, or as soon as you travel to the future, quote unquote, you can no longer use your masks, Deku sticks, your slingshot, or your boomerang, or the magic seeds, because the relevancy for the magic seeds I'll reveal in due time. But a plus side to start us all off with is now, because it's like, oh, I can't use my Deku sticks. Don't worry. Now that you've gone up, your Master Sword is 2 units of damage, compared to the Kokiri Sword's 1 unit of damage. But anyway, I see. I'm going back in. I'm going to try and trigger something here. I don't think this happens at this point. I could be wrong, but I'm going to try something really quick here. And if it's wrong, I guess I'll just have to come... Okay, no. I guess it's something I have to do another time. This will make more sense once we get to the next story beat. But, shocker, we're going to be avoiding the next story beat for just a wee bit. I know. Welcome to Legend of Zelda. A game all about avoiding doing what you're supposed to be doing for as long as you physically can. Now, when you head out to the Hyrule Castle town, be wary, be careful. Because the place is flooded with Redead. Now, we haven't encountered it yet, but if you're within a certain range of a Redead, they will basically scream at you and freeze you in place. I believe I told you that before, but I'm going to remind you. You can get out of there, as long as you go around them, you can avoid that, but you're going to want to be careful all the same. But we're making a quick pit stop up here at Hyrule Castle. Oh. I love what you've done with the place. The car's a little gothic, don't you think, though? I see we're going with these jokes. Anyway, there is a stop. Oh, it has a new name. There is one thing we want to do here before pressing forward. I just have to find it. It is a collectible, surprising no one. There is, the gold Skulltulas are still here and rampant. Even this far into the future. I just have to find where they are at this point. I hear, I see. That's why we can't do it right now. So we'll be back in a little bit for that gold Skulltula. So the first things first, before we do anything else at all, we're going to want to make a beeline to Kakariko. Now, even though the overworld map hasn't changed too much, I'm still going to keep you with me for a little bit till we get to Kakariko and actually get to our destination. I like how I've had all this additional fluff in here, by the way. Anyway, quickest way to avoid all the redeads, I'm pretty sure, is to come as close to the fountain as you can and go... Nope, that's not the way. Well, it tried to spook me. I'm trying to figure out what's the quickest way to get there. Yeah, that's the screaming question. I guess I got out of range. But before we do that, before we go out to the world map and
see what we can do, especially in Kakariko specifically. We should stop and talk to this guy.
Oh, you are quite an energetic young man. You're brave and handsome, too. Your name is Link, isn't it? Don't be surprised. I can read people's minds. If I looked as good as you, I could run a different kind of business.
Dirty mind.
My shop is the only ghost shop in Hyrule. Because of the Great Ganondorf, it is a fine time for a business like this. Oh, I can only hope the world gets even worse. The ghosts, called Poes, are spirits of concentrated hatred that appear in the fields and graveyard. They hate the world. Young man, if you catch a Poe, I will pay a lot of money for it.
Well, the Poes in question that he will pay a lot of money for are not available. They're not available until after we go through the first major story beat. But now at this point, day night does not matter in Hyrule Field. It will always be open. Yeah, I can't talk. The gate will always be open because it's demolished. But thankfully, now that you're not a child, you no longer have stubby legs, you can actually get around the Hyrule Field quite quickly. In comparison. Now there are several things we can do. I'm trying to think. There's several things we can do, but I want to make sure I do things in the proper order. And hey, I know this tune. This is a lot more. Somebody's gonna tell me this song was playing when we first came to Kakariko, but my brain's a little derp. Anyway, hey look, the archery game is here. Remember that house that wasn't quite built? That's here. The Skulltula house is still here, so if you need to refresh, if you need to turn in any Skulltulas, you still can. This lady's still here. Hi. I call it Pakuko. Don't get goosebumps from this baby. Very good at getting lazy late rises out of bed. Haven't you heard of them before? Makes them very happy crow, especially when it wakes up a very heavy sleeper. I'm not entirely happy right now. You look like you're good at handling cuckoos. Here, take this egg. After the cuckoo hatches, bring it back to me after a while, and I'll check this out. Sure. Well, would you like to know that you have just embarked on the beginning of the trade side quest? Yep. Every Zelda game has one. You're not getting away from it. Every Zelda game has a trading side quest. Anyway. First things first, though, before we go and handle things in the graveyard, which, by the way, Poes. Poe. If they're invisible, you can't see them, but... Oh, I thought you could use a... Back up. Okay, I thought you could use a Deku Nut to bring them out hiding. Poes, there's one attack a Poe will do where you have to be careful. No. There we go. You can put... that in a bottle. A Poe spirit in a bottle. It's whimsical in a bottle. It can either deal a harder damage to you, it can heal some hearts of damage, or it can do absolutely nothing. And also dissipates. If you sell it, if you sell it to the ghost guy, I think he just gives you 5 rupees. Anyway, hey, remember those magic beans we planted a while ago? They had purpose. Now, I do know with an item we're going to get later, of one variant of it, if you stand on top of the graves like this, I think you can see the boxes up there in order to get up there without the magic leaf. The magical leaf pod, but we'll talk about that more. Anyway, this grave is new. It is very new. And we find... Wait, Dampe?
Young man, are you fast on your feet? I may not look like it, but I'm confident in my speed. Let's have a race. Follow me if you dare.
It's a race against Dampe. There's a couple... Well, be careful, but there's a couple things to do with this. Following him in this race is a little... It's a little weird. And you have to be careful of the flames he throws. Because they're traps, but... we do have to do this game twice. Ah, bugger. We basically have to keep up with him. He will rubber band. The first time you do this race, time you do complete this race against him, it's just to get what you need to progress forward with the game. The second time you do it, you are on a time crunch. But yeah, do your best to keep up with him. And don't get distracted. There are some paths you can take here if you know what you're doing. There are 1 or 2 paths you can take here to kind of shortcut this and get some extra goodies, but yeah. Also, when you hear that click clock sound, you basically have, I think it's 10 seconds to get to Dompe once again before the door closes on you. Anyway.
Time of this race was 106. Young man, you were very quick and able to keep up with me. As a reward, I'm going to give you my treasure. It's called the hook shot. It's a spring-loaded chain that will pull you to any spot where this hook sticks. Doesn't that sound cool? Sure will help you. I live here now, so come back again sometime. I'll give you something cool. One more thing. Be careful on your way back.
So yes, doing this race against Dompe is how you get basically your progression item for this point in the game. Kind of like how when we first started the game we needed the sword and shield to progress. This is how you're going to progress from here on out. And the best way for everybody who doesn't know it, the hook shot, basically think of this as the adult version of the boomerang, except you can also be taken to another item. Also, we get introduced to these. By the way, there is a bit of a glitch with this here if you ever want to do it. I don't know if it got patched in this version, but if you walk, if you walk across the threshold of the door, but then while holding Z targeting, if you walk through the threshold of the door and then backflip back through it as it's closing, it does count as a death state and warps you back to the start of the race. Anyway. There we go, I remembered it. I remembered how to play this song finally after like 6 times messing it up. But we were introduced to stones of time, or blocks of time. I've heard it referred to as both. Navi will hover over a spot in specific, and 9 times out of 10, if she does that now, with the green glow, if she does that, she will... I'm trying to think of it. That's basically her saying, hey, you should play the Song of Time. Something might happen. Anyway, before we leave this area, we want to get one more piece of heart, which is riding this around and getting here. You can miss this, although I think with proper timing and the hook shot, I don't even think you need proper timing. Oh, you can't do that? Huh, can you? I guess you can do that. So I guess you need action. Some surfaces respond better than others, but you can just hook shot on anything wooden, for the most part. Anyway. Huh, you seem perturbed.
I'll never forget what happened on that day 7 years ago. It's all that Ocarina kid's fault. Next time he comes here around here, I'm gonna mess him up.
Noted. Remember that for later. We won't need to handle that for some time, but I could cliffhang you at this point while I go do the minigame stuff, but because I did the minigame once, I gotta do it a second time. This also gives me a chance to look at my notes and confirm something. Let's see. In under a minute. Okay. So we have to do that race again and basically do, quote-unquote, to earn. Basically, don't get hit by any of his stuff and do picture-perfect maneuvering. You can get a piece of heart for this quest. So that's what I'm going to try and do really quick here. I'm probably just going to cut around until I get the run, so... Fasten your feet. But yeah. There's no item, I will say, before I cut away if I have to, there is no item in this game that increases your speed. Basically, just cut corners where you can. That's too close, I bet. Cut corners where you can in order to catch up with him. Oh, what? Damn it. I managed to do the glitch without trying to do the glitch. And I did it. Something else there that I will note before I just... Because you can see it's easy enough to do, but... I'll just cut to the success. But basically, if you don't want to do that roundabout thing and you think you do it quicker, there are wooden, what you call it? I'll think of the words eventually. Wooden torch posts, basically at the very end of the race, where if you think you're faster to aim it, you can shoot the wooden torch post to shortcut across that giant windy bit. Anyway. There we go. Well, it's 56 seconds. It was, but can I have this other present too? Now, I'm pretty sure if you do it again... Oh, wow, we're up to 2 bars of hearts. Nice. I'm pretty sure if you do it once again... If you do this quest a second time now, or do this a third time, I should say, and beat the time of a minute or faster, I think it gives you 50 rupees. Anyway. That all done. I think I'm good to call it here. So, next time on Ocarina of Time, now that we're a big boy, we can go do more collection! And minigames, and side quests, and things that are basically not going to the forest. I'll see you folks then. Take care.